7:15 is the time. Good morning, everyone. This is a live look at your traffic this morning on 2222. And traffic is something that a lot of us think about, obviously, around this time when it's really bad out there, going to work or coming back from work. But one Texas group wants more of those drivers to consider buying electric cars. Plug-in Texas is showing off some of these cars on the west side of the state capitol today. So joining us to talk more about that is Russ Keene with Plug-in Texas. Good morning, Russ. Tell me why you're going to be over at the state capitol today.
Good morning, Sally. Thanks. We are here setting up this morning to introduce legislators and policymakers and their staffs to electric and natural gas vehicles. We're promoting alternative fuels for Texas.
And tell me a little bit about why alternative fuels is such a huge topic, but especially if we're seeing that gas out there at the pump is starting to get cheaper these days.
Great question. Yes, gasoline is falling in price, but we think having a domestic fuel like natural gas, an abundant domestic fuel here in Texas being part of the transportation mix is important. Electric vehicles are gaining market share as well. They're less polluting. Both vehicles, both types of fuel are much less polluting and less costly for the consumer.
And air pollution, obviously a huge concern for not only us here in Texas, but nationwide. When it comes to ditching your older cars and getting into the electric lane, if you will, is there anything as far as a misconception that you want to address, or what are some of the drawbacks that people will tell you about and then you have an answer for?
All right, well, we're asked a lot about the range of electric vehicles, how far the battery will operate, and that is growing. Later today, we'll have a Chevrolet Bolt, a new concept car that will be rolled out in 2017 that will have a range of 200 miles per battery charge. We're very excited about that. Today, the range is 50 to 100 miles. So as batteries, like cell phones, they're going to get smaller and more powerful, and cars will have greater range too, Sally.
And so what are you hoping, Russ, that lawmakers will notice when it comes to not just noticing these nice, shiny new cars, but what are you hoping they take away from your message today?
We want to educate lawmakers and their staffs about the viability of electric vehicles. They are here, they're on the road. Natural gas vehicles are making a big contribution. I'm in front of a new Lexus hybrid 2016 300NX, a great vehicle made by Toyota, the Lexus brand. We're going to have natural gas pickups from Chevrolet and GM, the Chevy Volt and Bolt. So we want legislators to see them and ride in them. We're having test drives here at the Capitol all day.
Yep, 8:30 to 2:30 over at the Capitol, test driving those vehicles. Hey, Russ, thank you for being here this morning. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, over on the west gate of the state capitol at 1200 Colorado Street. That's the location if you're thinking, I'd like to get out there and test drive one of those vehicles. Well,